Jai Ho, my dear students. I am Ratnakar Suryavanshi from SK Public School. In the last class, we have already learned about the James Bill, and even we learned how do we periodize and how other historians periodize the history of India as medieval, modern history, as ancient history, medieval history and modern history. About all these things we have learned, and even we learned that why the British ruling period in India considered or called as colonial period or colonial rule. About this also we learned. So today we will learn the one more topic in the lesson, in the history first lesson, that is how, when and where, and that topic is sources used to write Indian history. Sources used to write Indian history from last 250 years. I mean, to write the history of India from last 250 years, what are the sources used? What are the basis? What are the proofs? What are the proofs? What are the evidences used here? About this we will learn today. See, mainly in this we are going to learn about the two important sources. We will learn about the two important sources. The first one is administrative sources. First one is administrative. First one is administrative records. First one is administrative records. So this is the first source used to write the Indian history from last 250 years. From last 250 years to write this story, first source was used. That was administrative records. Administrative records means here whatever the records kept by the officials of the British, all those were considered here as administrative records. See, important point, officials or official records British and of the British administration are very important to write history. I mean, official records which were maintained by the British or the official records of British administration are very important to write the history of India from last 250 years. These are very important. See that British strongly believed that every act or everything has to be written up. Everything has to be written up. So that's why British believed that writing as an important act. They believed that the act of writing is very important. Who believed? British. And see, every instruction, each point, each suggestion, each plan, or every instruction, plan, policy, decision, agreement, investigation had to be clearly written up. They felt that everything, it may be plan or it may be suggestion or it may be discussion, policy, agreement, investigation, decision, or the plan, instruction, everything has to be clearly written up. It has to be written. And after writing, each thing or each point has to be discussed, has to be studied and debated. Each thing has to be studied properly and then debated. Debated means questioning, arguing. So this has to be done. And after a debate, after a proper study, after a debate, a fine decision has to be taken. A decision produced an administrative culture in British rule. So after the discussion or after the debate and after the proper study, whatever the decision has been taken, that decision has created the administrative culture of the British. That discussion, that study, that debate, decisions created the administrative culture of the British. Then what is the administrative culture of the British? Issuing memo. Then obviously memo means what? Memo means asking a reason for a particular thing to a particular person. That is what we call memo. Right? Then memo, as well as here we consider notice, as well as notings also we call them as notings. I mean important points or giving a proper detailed information about a thing to a particular person or to everyone. This is what we call notings. And then reports. And then reports. So these are the culture, administrative culture of the British, and these have been created because of the writing, because of the keeping administrative records by the British. And then see here one more point. British felt that it is important to preserve official records. British, they felt that it is very important to preserve official records or documents or letters. So they set up record rooms to preserve documents, to preserve the records. What British did, they set up record rooms only, separate rooms to preserve the documents. Who did this? British. And see, attached, those record rooms were attached to the administrative institutions. Those record rooms were attached, which means those were very next to the administrative institutions. For example, in India at present also we have nearby the Tahsildar office. We have attached to the Tahsildar office, we can find a record room in India, especially in our state. So this is what we call. And this trend was started, this system was started by the British, and it is followed till today. So record rooms are constructed to preserve the documents attached to the administrative institutions in India. For example, in village Tahsildar office, as I told you, as well as in district commissioner, collectorate offices. There also nearby the DC office we can find a record room, as well as in the commissions or in the commissioner's office also. In the commissioner's office also we can find the record room attached to the commissioner office or commissioner particular room. And even provisions, here see provincial secretaries also have preserved the documents in the record room. Provincial secretariat means the people who were in charge of those particular provinces during the time of British. Those were all called as provincial secretariats. So those also, they too have maintained documents, official records by constructing record rooms, as well as see the law courts. The courts also, judicial courts also maintains their own record room till today. In a court we can find record room, as well as in this time we can find the record rooms everywhere in India at present. But this system was started by the British. British established archives as well as museums to preserve the official records. Then what are archives? Archives are the buildings, are the places where official records, official documents are preserved. How we call libraries. Libraries where the books are preserved, kept. In the same way, archives where the official records, official documents are preserved. And even say in the early 19th century, British, they have copied out the official records by the calligraphists. They appointed calligraphists to note down, to copy the official records so that those could be preserved. And later in the mid 19th century, due to the invention, due to the use of printing machines, official records, official documents were printed in a huge number, in a large number. In this way, official records are taken as sources to write the Indian history of or from last 250 years. So, administrative records or administration records are the first sources to write the Indian history from last 250 years. Then the second source is surveys. So about surveys we will learn in the next class. Thank you. Jai Hind.